Okay, today continuing the series of stuff I've designed, talking about that. Today, it is my life-sized Honedge. Want to make sure I got this ready time for Legends EA since we're going back to Kalos. So basically just talking about, I'm not doing take two. I hate editing, so just deal with it. Anywho, talking about my design. So I managed to get it where it actually lines up accordingly. The eye comes out through here. The sheath is, it's kind of tricky getting the different colors. So like what I did was just a basic gold for the body. This is like an antique gold, I guess. I don't know. So taping this off was a pain in the butt. And then I just kind of hand did just brown overlay. It's a little more brown than I was just big, but yeah, it was. But yeah, so kind of one sort of funny way I started to get truly life-size and proportional was first I had to find a picture of it. And then I went ahead and I imported the picture to Blender. And then I started with the handle, made it that the right size. I had to do some math based on the picture, going off of the average size, which now size variations, I kind of justify it being whatever. So we'll see how much that changes, like in ZA. Do some math to get the right size, to get the kind of size of the parts. So then I made this life size. I did that in Cura, just because it's easier to punch in the numbers. That's probably more than one of these skinny cap, but that's how I do it. Imported that back into Blender, adjusted the picture so it matched the handle, and then went from there. So, starting with, well, let's start with the blade. So, careful, I've done it more than once where pulling it out, I just kind of scratched the pupil. The thing's a little tight. There's a little scratch on now, but it's pretty easy to touch up with a paint pen or even a permanent marker. I mean, it's just black. I like to wrap it, and this is actually extra fabric from the scarf. Hands, whatever they call it, I don't even know. Just to kind of protect the blade going in and out because I didn't really smooth out the inside. I kind of did something similar. I printed a Master Sword, and actually I bought a pair of stockings, and I used that to protect the blade as it goes in and out. This one, it's a thicker blade, so I didn't really bother. Oh, I got a little separation there, but I just glue it over. It's just for me, it's not for a customer or anything, so I'm okay with flaws. You can say it adds character, or just say I'm lazy. Anywho, so let me kind of, that's better. So the handle is one piece, has a slot in it for the scarf hand, which just a piece of fabric, and I cut out a template on, I just took a picture of Honedge and blew it up so it's about the right size. And I just use spray paint. I don't know if there's like a specific fabric print. One side looks better than the other. I think because it like soaked through. It's rather crunchy. Again, I don't know if there's a specific kind of fabric spray paint. I didn't look into that because I used the same paint for the eye, just to make sure they were the same color, but whatever. Yeah, handle one part, guard's another part. The guard is pretty wide, you can see. So I have a good Neptune 4 Pro. I always want to say Plus, but I think it's the Pro. And I actually had it like diagonal on the bed so it would fit. The handle doesn't supports, the guard does. So if you have a smaller printer and you want to do this, let me know. I'll have a link in the description to Cult 3D. I haven't posted those on Etsy yet. I'll get to that. For some reason, I always have to convert my files to zip files from Etsy, even though they say they take STLs, which is extra stuff that's kind of pain. Plus, like I said, the fees on Etsy are just so much worse. So that's kind of, that's more popular. So that's, the double edged sword. Yeah, so blade is in 4 parts. Tip, 2 for middles. They aren't the same. Don't try to just do the same thing twice. And then the inner part, you only need supports on the inner part. There's 3 dowels in here, 1 in the center. That's a little longer, 2 on the side for alignment. And they're about 10 millimeters. So you can go off of, I forgot what I used. as the standard equivalent. I just took a piece and went to the hardware store and was trying sizes. It's not gonna be exact. Even then, if you get 10 millimeters, it's still not gonna be exact because I give a little wiggle room for accuracy because I've made that mistake before, which we'll talk about in a future video. So be careful of when you line them up. Like this one section here, I can tell I didn't have it lined up well, so I had to like fill it in a lot. It's still not perfect. Again, just for me, I don't care that much. So just careful of that. I'm gonna do a section at a time, hold it. Kind of what I've been doing is for the dowels in the center part, I use like a 2-part epoxy. And then like on the rim, I'll just use crazy glue so that I can get it lined up in time for the crazy glue to set. So it's lined up. And then that'll hold until the epoxy sets. Just like this, where I have to like, so I'm not staying there a whole day because epoxy, I think typically it takes a day to fully cure, and I ain't dealing with that. So that's good for this alignment, but again, not perfect. Also at the time I was dealing with carpal tunnel. So yeah, not my best work, but just me, I don't care. Paint on the pommel is actually left over from, I think originally I did an Ocarina of Time. That was designed by someone else. And then I did my Azure flute, which I did design, which will be a future video. So how it kind of works out. And it's about the same color as a scarf, so it worked out. The eye is a separate piece. Makes painting really easy. Again, people tend to get scratched up. It's not actually that rough, so just kind of like lift it just a little bit to go in, but again, easy touch up. I have a set of paint markers, so that isn't that big a deal. Plus I got to touch up the blade anyway. There's a couple of scratches on it, but I can fix that once the butter gets warmer. I can paint easily. The sheath is another kind of size might be prohibitive, especially like the top part is pretty wide. I don't think I had to go diagonal on my bed, but you may have to. Again, a little separation there, no biggie. So yeah, it's one piece here, then there's the top, and then there's the front, and then there's the back. The back, I would go higher info because it's kind of thin here, and I'm always a little worried about that. And then, so the main body has 4 sets of dowels. I went metal this time, just because they were thinner. They're only 5 millimeters. And you're gonna need about 1.5 meters total. All the specifics are on my Colts 3D instructions, but there's basically 4 main ones on the corners. And then there's some smaller ones here for the top. And then there's some smaller ones in the back, kind of the same-ish position. I think I forgot to mention on the sword, you're gonna need about 2 meters total. Good. But yeah, this one smoothing was more of a bitch because there's all the little like nooks and crannies. So I got it what I could. Oh, a little mispaint there. Wrong. But it kind of helps since it's the sheath and because it's a little more. Someone thought it was supposed to be like wooden texture, but so it works out for aesthetic. But more important thing was getting the eye to line up with the hole. It's actually the back part here that really helps like block the guard. So proud of myself for getting that to line up with only one kind of minor screw up, but that's why we run tests. So I think that's kind of all the suggestions. As far as like supports go, bottom one definitely doesn't need it. Middle part, I don't believe needs it. Center part does, for what I call the mouth. Lack of a better term. And then the eyes. You may, if you're a bit more familiar with your printer, and if you go out a lower layer height, you may be able to get away with it if you kind of know what to deal with, or enough where you can just smooth it out instead of having to go through all these supports. I used tree supports and it wasn't that bad. I mean, decent amount of filament left over, but not end of world. Same thing on the back here. This whole lip needs supports. Well, at least the horizontal part, this part, maybe you can get away with. But again, not a huge deal. Center. So I think that's kind of it. So as with all or pretty much all of my designs. One print per purchase. Can't sell the prints or distribute the files. If you want to get crazy, you could do this as the shiny variant. I do have one that I bred from when I played Pokemon X. Hopefully I can get the whole line in ZA. I really like those mass outbreaks they do. But that's bulletproofs of that Christmas. But I think that's kind of it for this. So yeah, the files are on Pulse 3. Link will be in the description. I'll try to get around to put it on Etsy, but like I said, I'm not dealing with them too much. And of course, on Etsy and Mercari, Perfectly Mercari, you can get my recycled plastic necklaces. Some of the supports from here are in there. Plus, I had a couple of screw ups in printing, which, happens. So, I think that's kind of it. I guess I'll see you next time. I think next time I'll do the Azure Flu because I have that for sale and I want to make a video before someone buys it. Even though that was for the request, and I haven't heard from the person in months. But yeah, I think that's it. See you next time.